nature of his malady, that person could never be the same again. Following every spree, every sesh, every fucking bender, he would say to himself, maybe those AAs were right. After a few experiences, often years before the onset of extreme difficulties, he would return convinced he had hit the bottom as truly any of us. John Barleycorn himself had become our best advocate. John Barleycorn is the drink itself, isn't it? So they got the message. After a few experiences, maybe those AAs were like after, getting shit based on benders, but having the seed already planted before that, might give it some thought. So by going back out, the after effects are telling him, well, maybe, the hangover, all that shit, the fucking horrors. Why all this insistence that every AA must hit bottom first? The answer is that few people will sincerely try to practice this program, the AA program, unless they have hit rock bottom. For practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoption of attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. He wishes to be rigorously honest and tolerant. Who wants to confess his faults to another and make restitution for the harm done? Who wants to? Who cares anything about a higher power, let alone meditation and prayer? Really, who does? Well, I do, now. Who wants to sacrifice time and energy in trying to carry this message to the next sufferer? No, the average alcoholic, self-centered in the extreme, doesn't care for this prospect. Unless he has to do these things in order to stay alive himself. Under the lash of alcoholism, we are driven to AA. And there we discover the fatal nature of our situation. And you do. The curtains open. The light comes on. You hear it from people who've lived it, who are living it. And there we discover the fatal nature of our situation. Then, and only then, do we become as open-minded to conviction and as willing to listen as the dying can be. We stand ready to do anything which will lift the merciless obsession from us. We stand ready to do anything which will lift the merciless obsession from us. Because if you don't, bye-bye. Harsh but true. I've seen it. There is no other way for a drinking alcoholic to live and survive with any happiness, any contentment, any of those things that non-alcoholics consider, not just non-alcoholics, anyone. A happy existence. Stress-free, sober, debt-free, and all that. I just read step 1. Perhaps you're not an alcoholic after all. Why don't you try some more controlled drinking? Bearing in mind, meanwhile, what we have told you about your alcoholism. It's all very gentlemanly, isn't it? I get that. The tyrant alcohol wielded a double-edged sword over us. You know what it means, don't you? And when you're finished, you next vomit down the toilet with your furry mouth and your bile coming up. And, remember, that's the double-edged sword being waved over you. step 2 on the way.